Hey guys, Big Dave here for TGN, and what's this? The Warfront map Library of the Rune Masters is ready? Level 50 up in the upper left-hand corner? What? It's the public test shard, yes indeed. There was a test over the weekend for the Library of the Rune Masters, and I went ahead and jumped on that. No intro, none of the usual business that goes on with Warfronts. We are right into the action, because this one isn't about the gameplay as much as it is just about the visuals themselves. We'll talk a little bit about the structure of this Warfront, we'll talk a little bit about how it works, and we will witness a fairly close game between the Guardians and the Defiant. First thing you'll notice, we are above the battlefield. Yes indeed, you spawn in the ring that encompasses the top of the Library of the Rune Masters as we peer down over the edge there. So there are basically 3 levels. There's the upper ring, there's the middle outer ring, there's the lower ring, and then there's the center. So there are 3 levels, 4 zones, I guess you could say. So you can jump down, as you saw, with complete and total immunity from fall damage on the initial moments after your spawn in. A lot of action will take place on this center pad. If you look at the minimap in the upper right hand corner, you will see the relics have spawned in. There are relics that spawn in each of the little cubbies that circle the arena. There are 4 on the lower level and 4 on the upper level. At least I believe there are 4 on the upper level. Looks like only 2. Well, whatever. So anyway, my point is, there are multiple relics for you to grab. This is Martyrdom, so it works like Black Garden, of course, but the caveat, multiple relics to hold. It is 1,000 points as opposed to 500. Things do get hot and heavy in the center because, again, just like Black Garden, you get more points the nearer you are to the center. When you drop a relic, however, it is not accessible. You cannot pick it up. It has to be it is returned back to the spot from whence it came, and it has to be grabbed again. So that is an interesting dynamic that you really lose nothing by holding one in the center for as long as you can. It's not as if your opponent's going to be able to pick it up and already have it in the center. I mean, Black Garden, if you make a miscalculation and you run the Fang to the center and your enemy grabs it, you're in some poop. But here, not so much the case. You will see the interior of the center ring is encircled by these little line of sight breakers that are just leaving the screen. I'm heading off over here to grab a relic. Crafty rogue, quite crafty, and destroys me thoroughly. Doing a little bit to try and heal myself here. I really have no experience with clerics at any high level. This is a cleric. I just simply went ahead and took my... Wow. He's got buddies. I went ahead and just took my existing cleric build from my level 20 cleric, which is sort of an AoE-centric Inquisitor, Warden, Purifier build, and I slapped that into a level 50, just spent all my points. I slapped a level 50 on that, basically, and probably some horribly spent points in there, but all in all, it'll do the job. So again, the leap of faith down to the floor. No damage, of course. And again, we see those... Turn. We see the little pillars that are breaking line of sight. Those are there for a purpose, of course. They're there to break line of sight. There has been some complaints from folks who played on the test realm that this did not quite work for them. That they found it to be a little too much line of sight breakage, or a little too many opportunities to break line of sight, kind of crippling the ability of healers to heal and ranged DPS to do their ranged DPS. Something else you'll notice over on the the left-hand side, it just faded away. There is now a sort of FPS-esque announcement system. You know, such and such is on a rampage or whatever, killing spree. You know, very Team Fortress 2, very sort of Counter-Strike, very, I guess, you know, Modern Warfare, whatever. It's interesting, it's funny. It is nice to know, though, kind of who you should be, I guess, who's the badass, who you should be targeting. And it also is, it's really nice, there, right there, you see, saved. It'll actually tell you when you give someone a vital heal that keeps them from dying. So that's really nice. It kind of gives a little bit of props to the healer. You'll notice right now we're controlling 3 relics and trying to catch up here as the Guardians jumped out to a quick lead. We were controlling 3 until I died. And here we are. We are spawned in again. Nice, gracious leap of faith there. It is a little bit fun making that jump and then throwing out some instant casts on the way down. Kind of makes you feel like a superhero a little bit, I guess. Man, I'm swarmed by rogues. There were a lot of rogue improvements in this PTR, so PTS as it's called. So a lot of people are playing rogues, and a lot of rogues are just owning the crap out of my face. So let me tell you right now, if you were to look to the left or look to the right, which I'm not doing, of course, because this is a video, there are actually little teleport pads that will take you down. So you don't have to jump off. To the left and the right, there are little teleport pads that take you down. And they actually take you down and put you in sort of an advantageous place to grab a relic. So a lot of the times it would be advised or advisable to use one of those teleporters as opposed to just jumping down into the midst of the battle as I'm doing every single time. So again, you can see these little... Every time I'm about to talk about those torches, I turn away. The torch is in the center. The most consistent feedback I saw from this testing was people saying there's just too many of them. Maybe, I think there's 6 now. Maybe 4 is the magic number. Just give people the opportunity to break line of sight, but have them have to work a little harder to do it, I suppose. Now I get a little confusion here. I see the mark on the map, but it's faded out, which of course means that it is below me. So instead I head over here to this one that's on the same level as I am. Snatch that up, and again, multiple relics active at once makes this a very, very interesting matchup. I saw that rogue stealth just as I landed, so I'm running scared, just trying to keep moving, get near my teammates. Help me, guys. There's a rogue around here. So again, I think maybe there's 8. I think there are 8 of those. So yeah, maybe 4 or 6 would be nice. Just, you know, have them there so that you can break line of sight, but make it a little bit more difficult. Make it so you actually have to work to actually to break the line of sight. Because right now it just seems a little bit too easy to do. I mean, a juke left or right, and you can essentially break line of sight, especially on longer cast time spells. And I feel that as an Inquisitor when I'm casting some of my spells. So all in all, the thing that I would like to basically say about this is I'm happy that this Warfront is smaller. I like the idea of close combat. Black Garden, as much as I play it, and as much as I suffer through it in the lower levels, is my favorite Warfront. So I'm glad that they've put out something else that keeps the combat close. It keeps it fast, it keeps it furious, it keeps everything focused in on that center. That's the other reason, that's the reason that I also like the escalation mode that was added to Whitefall Steps. It keeps the battle concentrated. I don't have a lot of fun when I'm walking around looking for someone to fight. When I know that I can go to a certain place and find a battle, awesome. I will do it every time. I will be there with bells on, and I will hopefully be owning some face in the process, though I don't really ever own face, but, you know. It's fun to pretend sometimes, right, guys? So we're doing an awful lot of aggression to be doing so poorly in the game. I'm going to sneak over here, grab up a relic. Any rogues jumping me this time? No. Yay! Oh, there's one. Don't celebrate too soon. Now, of course, I'm sat upon by this rogue. I just panic. None of my instincts are there. I know that they've buffed rogues to such a degree that alone intimidates me out of even really resisting. And there you go. I am dead. Looking at my spells here. What does this do? I don't know. I got all these spells. I don't know what they do. You know, it took me 20 minutes to put all my stuff together, figure out what spells were even worth putting on my bar. I don't know what I'm doing. Putting a level 20 into a level 50 shoes and saying, oh, go on, test this Warfront for us. Awesome. So you can still see the little ticker over on the left-hand side, letting us know who's unstoppable and who's on a killing spree. I'll make a quick stop here. This fella just keeps trying to grab that relic, and he manages to. I can't even stop him from doing something simple as grabbing a relic. But I will give chase here, and I'll see what I can do about killing. Get a little rogue help. Mr. PvP will not be long for this world, hopefully. Everybody gets all funny and creative with their PTS names. Me, I just used the name of my existing cleric. That's how boring I am. And now I'm in that lower ring I was talking about. So, you know, again, that separates the battle into your three major zones, I suppose, if you don't count the upper spawning ring. You have the lower pit, you have the central area, and you have the outer ring. So it keeps things very compartmentalized. Battles are going to generally take place in the center, but you will also get a lot of running down of folks in the lower pit, and you'll get some chase on the upper pit as well. So again, we are pushing, trying to make a little comeback here. It just ain't happening. Of course, if you're looking at my character, this is a level 1 that I made on the public test server. They had Fluffy, the NPC who can level you, spawned in. I used Fluffy services, got rank 8 armor, as well as got my level 50 in all my skills and a giant pocket full of platinum. That NPC is not always available, so many times if you want to participate in the PTS, you will need to bring your own level 50. Luckily for me, someone without a level 50, they had that there, and I was able to take advantage of it. I went ahead and threw a couple of other characters on there as well, just so that I had some to go back with, because Chronicles are also live on the public test shard, and I will be taking a look at those later this week. Something that they were testing in this test patch, in this test event, that I didn't notice was Warfront accolades. I didn't really do much research into them, but they appeared to be sort of little mini goals that they would give you for the day, like capture a point, something like that, sort of akin to, man, I'm just in the midst of a giant battle right there, sort of akin to daily quests. I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. They did a blog post on it, and there we go. We are victorious just barely. But the accolades, they look interesting, but I didn't really get a chance to test them very much. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it, guys. I'm not going to linger on this too much. My overall thoughts on this Warfront, it's promising. There's still a little bit more refinement that I think needs to be done. They need to work on that center area, maybe reduce those line-of-sight barriers. Other than that, I think this looks like a very, very good addition to the game. And, yeah, pop on the public test shard on a high traffic night or something. You may actually get a chance to take a look at this. It is live. You can queue for it at any time. But whether or not you'll actually get a game, well, that's going to be tough. Keep your eyes on the official Rift blog. That is on the official Rift site, riftgame.com. They do post these about a day ahead of time when they're going to do these tests, also on their Twitter feed. So take a look at all that. And, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it for me. Yep. We will be back next week with a standard episode of Warfronts. Look for my video on Chronicles here on TGN Rift a little bit later this week. Alright guys, until next time, I have been Big Dave, and as always, take it easy.